Bruddc and Kitty got a show to glow. Life stories wild like a late night dream. We're spilling the tea and it's hot like steam. Bruddc and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Bruddc and Kitty Show. From trending news to the tales untold. Spinning the wheel, let the stories unfold. Catch us in the vibe where the chatter grows. With a pair that keeps you on your toes. What's the buzz? What's the word? Spill it fast, haven't you heard?
I'm not farting, by the way, if you can hear loads of vibrations coming from the back of me. I've got this back massager that's doing God's work behind me.
Loving God's work.
Good afternoon, good people. You're watching the Bruddc and Kitty Show. We are joined on this lovely Monday afternoon. Kitty, how are you feeling?
I'm good, thank you. I did a workout this morning, and I suggest everybody does a workout Monday morning and feels the burn.
I must admit I haven't started my Monday morning yet. To be honest with you, I haven't started it yet. I have to 24-hour gym, so there's no excuses. I'll find 45 minutes to get to the gym. But home workouts, they tend to burn a little bit, don't they?
Yeah.
Because you really have to if to do it properly and get something from you really have to put the work in, don't you?
Yeah. And it to me, it's one of the best things you can do. It's you've got to motivate yourself. So it's that motivation you need for Monday morning. So you've got to find it. You've got to dig deep. So that's it. So tomorrow I probably won't be able to walk.
Fair play. Do you know what? I went to the gym and I was doing those that leg machine where you sort of just do that, and I did it on like the maximum weight, and I did 3 sets of 50, and that literally the inside. I think they've just started hurting now. Like my groin was like in so much pain, but we didn't come here for my groin pain and Kitty's morning workout, did we? Now, guys, we're here for the Bruddc and Kitty Show, guys. Kitty, what we got going on? We've got so many stories to go through today. Which one are we going to go for?
Where to start? Shall we start with the bad?
Okay, let's start with a manhunt.
Yeah. How do you lose a prisoner?
Okay, how do you lose a prisoner? Jesus, you need how do you lose a prisoner? Let's have a little look at the headline that broke a couple of days ago. Luckily, the manhunt has come to an end and they found the chap. But let's have a quick peek and see what happened.
On Friday morning, has been arrested. Met officers detained him in Finsbury Park in London earlier this morning. Our correspondent, Amelia Harper, is with us now.
Well, that's breaking news in the last few moments that the hunt for Bruddc Kitty is now over. He has now been found by the Metropolitan Police and found in the Finsbury Park area. The manhunt had entered its 3rd day. Absolutely incredible.
And when I heard about this guy being released, I thought to myself, have they done this on purpose? There's no way, with the amount of publicity that this guy's had, there's no way everyone mistakenly, this has been worldwide news, basically, this guy. How on earth did they let him go? And this is what makes me think, guys, is there someone out there that's rolling the dice on us?
Yeah.
And trying to whip up more hatred and stuff like that in the world?
Because of prisoners, this happens to. It's got to be this one, hasn't it? Like you say, the one that has stirred the pot so much. This is the guy that started it all in like Epping, and it's just of all the people. There's been no explanation of how it's been done, which is something I want to know. How did it happen? You don't just do that. You know who he is. You know where he's going. He's actually asked, apparently, for deportation.
Yep.
He asked for it. He admitted and said, yes, deport me. So how has it happened? The man was walking around in a prison uniform.
Absolute BS. For me, this was done on purpose. There's no way all the prison... Can you imagine all the red tape that he would have had to go... Like, imagine how many doors, how many people... Wait a minute. No one said, wait a minute, that's the guy that's been found guilty and given a year.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Let me just check the paperwork on this. Nobody's done that, obviously, because nobody would think to do that. Now, you're either saying to me that people in the prisons just don't care, or like you say, it's been done on purpose to rage bait us. Another thing that annoys me is the police were like, oh, this is a 3-day manhunt. It was a member of the public that spotted him, that have been spotting him all over for 3 days. He even went to a library to try and get another free hotel for the night.
That's a joke. This is sabotage. This is a joke. This is rage baiting. And with the way the country's going at the minute, we can move on to our next subject as well. Sarah Pochin, a Reform MP. Like, good God, guys! Like, you know, I've heard of this. I've heard of us becoming like America. But let's just have a little look at.
Hadush Kabatu,
Let's just have a little look at
released from HM.
Sarah Pochin, a Reform MP. These are the people that are going to run our country supposedly in 3 years' time.
A bit left field, this one, but I think it's creepingly important. Would Reform do anything to look at the representation of the demographics of TV and public advertising? Because we're getting to the point now where adverts don't represent what this country looks like, and actually positive demonisation of white people, just portrayed as criminals or inadequate when they're not.
Okay, Stuart, stay where you are. Sarah, what do you think of what Stuart's saying? What would Reform UK do about it, if anything?
I think Stuart's absolutely right. Drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people, full of, people that basically are anything.
What's wrong with that, Sarah?
White.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it doesn't reflect our society, and I feel that your average white person, average white family is like.
Good God. So she's on the radio. A caller calls up. Hi, Sarah. If Reform got in, would you do anything to address the sort of too many brown and black faces on adverts and stuff? And she responds savagely, like, how can we trust someone like this to be like, I just think this Reform, they're probably going to get in 3 or 4 years time. It depends if all their MPs haven't been arrested for beating their wives and stuff, if they haven't all been jailed for that yet. I reckon it's going to be I don't reckon it's going to get to that stage, to be honest with you.
I'm laughing, right, at what you've just said, but it's so true that I wouldn't trust Reform as far as I could throw them, and I don't want to actually pick them up because they're probably that filthy. And the things she said. Yeah. At what point in her head did she actually think this was a good idea to say?
She said, "I am sick to death of turning my an MP, someone that is gonna. I'm sure that the taxpayers are paying her money, paying her salary or whatever. An MP comes on television and says, "I'm sick to death of seeing black and Asian people on TV, overrepresented in TV commercials and films and blah blah blah." I am flabbergasted by that. I don't think there's. To be honest with you, let me just say this: I don't think she believes a word of what she says. I feel like this is a dog whistle, and they know that the public that is going to vote for the demographic and the public that is going to vote for them are so thick and pig-headed. Like, can you imagine? How sad do you have to be to phone a radio station and say, "Are you going to do anything about too many black and brown faces on the TV?" Like, how freaking sad. What sort of a loser, what sort of a waste of space does that? It don't make no sense to me.
With the next video, because this will actually go seamlessly into the next video, because fortunately for us there's lots of white faces in it, but I can't believe that at any point that was a good thing to say. I can't believe I am sick to death of seeing black and brown faces. That
is tasteless. That is tasteless.
Guys, this country is a multicultural country. We are, whether we like it or not, we are. There are our faces, your faces. There are multicultural. All we've got to do is find somebody that can bring us all together. We've said this how many times, haven't we? We need one common cause to bring us all together.
100%. And I feel like the moment we all stop, the politicians are going to keep doing what they've always done. They are loving life. They are just dog whistling. It's easy. They can just get that they can get that sort of vote, that extreme far right vote. All you have to do is talk some trash, speak with that sort of tone, you get their vote. You don't have to do nothing else. Like, we saw that video of everyone going on, yeah, we're voting reform. The guy says to them, tell us about their policies. Like nothing. Like, basically, these people shouldn't be allowed to vote. I think if you've got no teeth in your mouth, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. That's what I think.
Point system, depending on how many teeth.
Yeah, depends how much teeth you got, and if you don't, if you've been a serial benefit thief as well, like maybe you shouldn't vote either. But
3 strikes in prison, maybe 3 strikes in prison as well. You can't vote, and that goes across the board.
Yeah.
Like not just white faces. I'm talking about Asian faces, black faces. If you've been in prison 3 times, you no longer have a vote because you're no longer.
I think America has that policy already. I think.
Don't they? Whereas if in some states, if you offend 3 times, you are in prison for the rest of your life.
Yeah. 3 strikes. Yeah.
Take away their votes, but I mean, I would imagine they lose their votes.
I don't think criminals are allowed to vote anyway in America. I don't think so.
But I think we have to start doing that here now. So many votes on a point system is basically how, if you pay council tax, that's 1 point. If you are not on benefits and you are paying into the tax system, 2 points. Do you get what I mean? Because otherwise, we've got idiots that live on benefits that are deciding who is going to run the country. I don't want that, thank you very much. All they want is people that will pay them more benefits. What they don't realise is the moment you vote reform, guess what's going to happen?
Yep. And on reforms policies as well, what I've seen, they want to try and stop people from bringing their dependents over that have actually contributed to society. So people why would doctors? I'm talking about people that have real doctors, not the doctors on the boats, real doctors and real nurses, real healthcare workers, people that have come here to work, and this reform are saying that they will take away their rights to sort of bring their family members over and get them citizenship. I'm like, that's if you ask me, that's poking the wrong people. Like, yes, people coming over that don't offer nothing, that are, if they pull them out. Like, if they're there, pull them out. If there's a demographic of people coming here and just taking benefits, not putting nothing into the system, dig those people out. But people that are doctors, that are helping, that are carrying the NHS, people that are wiping the backsides of World War II veterans right now as we speak, saying that their family members aren't allowed to come over with them is absolutely it's tasteless, it's disgusting, it's disgraceful, it's everything. The fact that we don't have enough people to wipe our own veterans' backsides, we have to import people to come over and do it, and then we tell them, oh, wait a minute, no, you can't bring your family member. I think that's disgusting.
Even if we say, if you're bringing your family over, I want them to have a better education so that they can then go on to provide for society. That should be, again, something that's looked at. But like you say, not someone that's going to bring the benefits and come in with the benefits. But we want people here that will contribute to society. And these people are. Why would we not want them?
Why would you? It doesn't make no sense. Why pick on them people? Like, it just, if a reform, just why would you want to pick on those people? It doesn't make no sense.
Again, like you say, to poke the white voter that thinks that they have this entitlement to the country because
I think honestly, if it gets to that stage, I reckon what will happen is, we'll start seeing strikes, and what will be is you guys that want to vote a certain way, that don't want to be treated by these you can go on a list, and everyone else will enjoy the lovely multicultural society with all these doctors that will enjoy those doctors, and then you lot can have white only English doctors, and I don't know, if there's any space for you, they can fit you in. But most people get seen by a black or brown doctor nowadays.
Yeah, and most of us are actually quite grateful for that as well. Do you get what I mean? And I was in the hospital with my mum the other week, and to be quite honest with you, there wasn't one white face. Wasn't one, from the cleaner to the nurses to the doctors to the porters. Not one was white. And I was looking. I wasn't looking to rage bait. I was just looking and blah blah blah. My mum was talking to one doctor because he was Chinese, and it was all those sort of situations. But if you're going to start complaining about these people wanting to bring their family over to this country, you've
I don't think we can afford to scare doctors and nurses and healthcare workers away. I don't think we can afford that. Like, what's the alternative? Have we got a new bunch of people coming to do this job that are willing to do it? I don't think so.
College then and learn how to be doctors and how, you know, all these people that are on benefits that are able to work, are they going to go to are they going to go to college then, get up off their arse and go to college and learn to be a doctor, learn to be a dentist, learn to clean as well, because half of them don't know how to bloody clean.
Yeah. Let's go on to what was it we were going to go on to next?
I can seamlessly go on to this because apparently there are not enough white and black faces on the TV.
Oh yes. Not enough white and black faces on the TV. But Sadiq Khan, the mayor, has done an advert campaign to stop sexual harassment on the train and getting women to speak out. And he's made a video. Let's have a little butchers at it.
A bit left field this one, but I think it's creepingly important.
It's not that one. It's Sadiq Khan's advert.
The man in the grey suit is staring at you. Would you report it? It's him again. You can feel his breath. Would you report it? Is that his bag? He's not carrying one. 1 second. 2 seconds. Would you report it? He finds an excuse to lean into you. Would you report it? He pushes his groin right into you. 90% of unwanted sexual behaviour on public transport goes unreported. You can report anything.
So, Sadiq Khan's taken a lot of flack for this. A lot of people coming out. It's not white men are touching women on the train, subtle touches and stuff like that. That's the first initial reaction that's come out. A lot of people that are doing the blowing the dog whistles. Those middle-aged white men that Gary Neville's talking about.
Well, I actually look like Gary Neville. He actually looked like Gary Neville. So there you go. As a woman that has travelled on the tube for many, many years, I mean, not as many times as you probably have, but I will say this. It's not just white men. It's not just black men. It's not just Asian men. It's just bloody men. You'll cop a feel when you can cop a feel. And I'm afraid that there are some right dodgy ones on the tube in London.
Yeah.
Every woman knows. Yeah. We know. It is the most uncomfortable feeling in the world, especially when it's not even packed and they come and sit next to you.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately it's bad for, you know, you guys that don't want to do that, you know, specifically want to try and not do that. But at least they can't complain that there was no white faces in this advert.
Oh yeah, well I hope they're not moaning about being overrepresented in this one. I think obviously I've been on London. I've been brought up in London, and on the trains you see a lot of men, and you just ask any woman that travels on the train, and she'll tell you the amount of men in suits that will bump into you, that will stand right behind you, that will, if you're a shorter woman, that will thrust right up to you. I've seen it my whole life in London, growing up on getting up on the trains, and any woman will tell you about her experience. And ladies, if there's anyone that has had an experience on the train, I would love to hear from that as well. But in terms of the advert, do you have a problem with this advert, Kitty, when you first watch it?
No, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. People that have a problem have got an agenda, as far as I'm concerned. There's too much. That's what's going off in this world right now. Everybody has an agenda. My agenda is: can we just stop feeling women up on tubes, please? Can you stop?
Altogether, everywhere.
Yeah,
men need to take a break. Men need to stop what they're doing. Honestly, men, the degeneracy now with men, like you see them, like, you know, that Omi TV. You watch the men on there. They're literally, you know. Like, you know, like men have lost the plot. Honestly, they have lost the plot, and women are screenshotting them now on Omi TV, and you know, it's becoming a dangerous place for women. Honestly, like it really is, because these men are like, acting like they got no self-control. It's really bad, man, really bad.
Do you know how many messages I get on a daily basis expecting me to go and meet men? I even asked if I was touring. I was like, touring? You know what I'm like? I'm a bit meh. And I was like, touring? Doing what? I can't sing, I can't dance, what are you on about? Well, I'll have 3 hours with you.
Yeah.
Firstly, I'm 53, mate. You think 3 hours is going to happen? No. Right? Secondly, who does that? I mean, obviously, they're all women that do it.
This is I was gonna say that because I know that phrase very well through working with all different types of women. This is the thing, you know, there are women out there that do use that terminology and do tour on Instagram, tour areas like they're cruise, like they're a band, like they're a rock band. You know, they're in Birmingham. They're like Bonnie Blue does when she's hitting the towns, basically. There are women that do that, and it is becoming, like we've spoken about this before, where, you know, there are certain women like offering certain things, doing certain things, and then a man will see another woman and they automatically assume that that woman is doing what everyone else is doing, just like what you just said there. I don't know what the answer to that is, because obviously people have got to eat, and, you know, these girls are making their money online.
All power to them. You know me. If you're grafting, you're grafting, and you know, you put a shift in, you put a shift in. I'm all power to it. But guys, stop assuming that every woman wants that. Every woman doesn't want a picture of you WhatsApp either. We don't want that. That's not how you start a conversation. That's not how you, not in life. You do not start your conversation, even like you say on OME by literally pulling it out and whipping it out and showing them. That I've never met that has looked at one and gone, do you know what? I'm going to date him, or I'm going to go and meet him. I've never met a woman that's actually looked at one and thought, yeah.
Oh, that's quite a curious one, actually. Is there, like, you know, I don't know, is there any novelty in that anymore for women to see a man's, even if it's something great, even if it's something great, is there a novelty there anymore?
Personally, for me, no, I don't want to. Listen, if we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and, you know, you was away maybe, and there was FaceTimes and whatever, I quite understand it. But starting a conversation without even saying hello, boom, it's in your inbox.
Wow.
I don't. That to me is something special. I have never started a conversation with my bits. I'm telling you now.
Just out of curiosity, if I was to ask you to color code the surprises that you see in your DMs, what would the sort of demographics be? Be honest. Just say you're just. I don't know the answer.
Mostly Asian.
Okay.
I would say 40% white and 10% black.
Okay, so you so your demographic of dick pics is basically, would you say 50% Asian, 40% white, and 10% black?
Yeah.
Thank God we aren't represented in this one, eh, boys?
I have to say that 10% is quite impressive.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know where we went there with that one, guys. But yeah, it is interesting. It was just a survey, you know, just to put out there.
There's a degeneracy happening amongst men, and they just assume that all women are out there for one thing.
Yeah, but even if the women, even like, you know, obviously we're talking about, like, you know, women that sell products online and sell pictures and stuff like that. Even if they are doing that, I still think there's sort of a decorum, like there should be some sort of, like, as Eubanks would say, some parliamentary procedure when sort of, like, you know, when speaking to women, and like when like introducing to yourself to a woman, like, you know,
start negotiations.
Yes.
And then flip the script, but don't just flip it out. I mean, like I say, some mornings I have to literally hide my phone from the children. Do you know what I mean? When I'm like going through my inbox, it's not big and it's not clever sometimes. But I would say you just need to learn to talk to women a little bit more, and I think that's the problem. I think a lot of men, because they have this, the social media platform is so open now, they've forgotten how to interact with women.
Yeah. Need to do better.
You do need to do better. You need to stop rubbing up on them on buses and trams and whatever, because that's just disgusting. There's nothing worse than some geezer breath on the back of your neck rubbing up. And again, no woman has actually ever thought to themselves, ooh, I'll have a bit of this. No, they've all just thought, get off me, you dirty, you know, and that is it.
Yeah.
We don't think it's great.
Yeah.
You do. But then are these the people with those kinks that like that want us to turn around and go, you? And
I think it's I like when I used to see it, like, you know, I think it's just, I think it's a power thing, and I think it's more of a it's like I feel like it might be just some sort of perversion, sort of, you know, where they just sort of brush up on women and sniff. Like, I've had women tell me, yeah, the guys were sniffing me, and like shorter girls have said to me, you know, they've literally had bulges in their faces, like, basically sometimes, like, you know, and they feel things like, so there must be a lot of like the advert said, 90% of these incidences of like light groping on the trains go unreported. So
I would say most women have had something.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember coming back from work once, so it was like 5 o'clock, and I was on the bus, and there was a guy relieving himself.
Good God.
And everybody went up to the bus driver. I mean, this is God, 20 years ago. Everybody went up to the bus driver and said, you need to get him off because it's disgusting. And the bus driver went, there's nothing I can do. Well, yes, there is. You can stop the bus until he gets off.
Yeah, for sure. If someone's doing that on a train, literally, that's a call. That's a call for arms, call for violence. And
but there was a guy. If you remember, I don't know whether you saw it. He was on the tube, and he was touching up women, and a group of lads, they were multicultural lads, literally dragged him off the train.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
they picked him up.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And they were nearly prosecuted for that because they took it too far.
Yeah.
They just pulled him off the train, basically, and handed him over. But they took it too far, and they beat him up. But
yeah.
we also know that even if they're taken to prison, they're let out.
Yeah. No one's getting prosecuted anymore, are they?
Accident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by accident. There we go. Let's move on to our next one. Let's.
The man in the grey.
That. And this one is okay. So before we do this one, let's just put the context out there for this one. This is the march, the Whitechapel March. There were Tommy Robinson was meant to have some sort. They used his name to promote it, wasn't it? There was meant to be some sort of march for Tommy Robinson's people to come down to Whitechapel, and someone else turned up instead. Let's have a little look.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, do not say I didn't warn you.
Hey, Tommy, where are you, bro? This is my gang. You see all of these not here? How about that?
Well, I've said it, many of you at home have said it, and the scenes in Whitechapel last night just confirmed it.
Come on, log out, no face.
Male men of Asian ethnic than ever before.
Okay, so Tommy Robinson put I think it was Tommy that put it out there, but definitely his circle of people put it out and promoted that there was going to be a march, and they were calling for everyone to come down. And I don't know what the videos that I saw did seem quite confrontational. We're coming down there, and we're gonna. I think we heard there's someone saying something about some crusade or something like that they were gonna do down there, and the Muslim brothers turned up and they weren't having it.
They weren't having it, but what I will say is 90% of them were covered in balaclavas. Something needed to be stopped, because one of the things that every rally, you should be able to see their face. If you're brave enough to stand up for your rights, be brave enough to show your face. I will say that, right? Don't hide behind a balaclava, right? Don't do that, because if you've got something to say and you want to say it loud and proud, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest out. Don't hide behind balaclavas. Why hide behind balaclavas? I don't get it. As for I think it was race baiting again. I think, the clips that have come out, they are definitely dog whistles for those on the far right to step up and do your bit for England.
What did you see in the video that sort of like, that you were uncomfortable with, other than the balaclavas?
I just think that there was a lot of, I will say this because I watched several videos, and there was prayers, and there was a nice side and whatever. But like we said about our rally, not all Asians are bad Asians. Not all Muslims are bad Muslims. But all the bad Muslims were there. Because they were there and they were raging. And some of them were there for a fight. They were there. They were singing, you know, the old, these are our streets and whatever. I just want everyone to get along, and I just don't see how we're going to do it if we've got one side screaming one thing and one side screaming another.
Yeah.
And it's just, it annoys me. It annoyed me at the rally we went to. So it annoys me on this.
You see, where I stand with it, like, you know, I didn't see any violence. No. I saw people wearing balaclavas. I saw people shouting Allahu Akbar, which means God is great or something like that. Like, you know, a lot of people seem to think that it means something else.
No, it just means
God is great or something like that. I didn't see anything to talk about. Like, you know, for me, if you put out, like, I saw a lot of these sort of like middle-aged men that Gary Neville talks about, saying about everyone get down to Whitechapel. We're going to go down there and going to do so. Like, it sounded quite football hooligan sort of style. That's the kind of drift that I got from it. And for me, if you think you can go to an area, that's what I said. When people said to me, "Oh yeah, why are you going to London for?" I said, "Like, I'm from London. I don't give a damn. I'll never be scared to walk down my streets in London." So as we saw in after the Southport thing, as we saw, people's houses getting trashed, people's windows getting trashed, people's cars getting trashed. If you say we're bringing our firm down to your area, the other group, especially the Muslim guys, they're not going to sit there waiting, hiding in their house. They're going to turn up, and if you want to fight, they will happily deal with you if you want to come with them with that energy. So what are we supposed to do? Say to them, "Oh yeah, no one turn up," and just let them come and sort of take over the area? Like, you know, it's not going to happen. So I didn't. If you like, you know, if you call, like, the videos I saw were quite like inciting. They would, "Get down there, boys. We're going to take over Whitechapel." Why didn't they turn up anyway? Why didn't the guys turn up?
Yeah, why nobody turned up. But my big thing is the government should have sent someone down because they were in the balaclavas. If you're going to say it with your chest out, lads. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. If you're going to say it with your chest out. Be proud.
Yeah.
Don't hide behind balaclavas.
Yeah.
If I've got something to say, you can damn well believe I'm going to stand on a stage with full tassels on if I have to.
Yeah.
What I've got to say, and you're going to see every bit of it.
Yeah.
I am not afraid to say what I want to say, as we know.
Yeah.
But
I think this is the difference. This is the difference between, like, I don't know if you want to say class of people, but people with jobs ain't gonna turn up with their faces out. You know, they ain't going to turn up with their face out where they can be identified. That doesn't sound very smart. Like, you know, it's normally people with no teeth in their mouth that turn up, face out, and they've still got a job somewhere, and they're shouting some sort of anti-Islamic sort of stuff online sort of thing. Like, you know, that's not very smart. But the guys, they turn up with their balaclavas. Yes, I would say, okay, maybe not. But, you know, what did they do? That's what you know, they came there. They came there ready to defend their area. This is a very highly populated area of Asian people, and especially Muslims as well. So if you say you're coming down to that area, they're going to take it as, you know, okay, come down and let's see what happens. If you don't want to rock, let's rock.
There was some bad chants, and for the life of me, I know there was, and I can remember them, but I can't remember them, if you know what I mean. There was some bad chants, but there were bad chants at the rally where we were, so we know it was going to happen.
Yeah.
You're always going to get those that get carried away.
Yeah.
Right, these are our streets, you're not having them back, and whatever. Right, that's fine, but say it with your chest out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I just like, you know, I didn't hear. I've watched a lot of stuff and I didn't hear anything. I saw prayers. I saw don't get me wrong. There were people there ready to kick ass if trouble was started, for sure. There was people there ready. Those people turned up ready because the opposite side said, "We're coming down there to take your area, to take," like, you know, it's a football thing. If one football team says, "Right, we're coming down," if Millwall say we're going down to West Ham, you know, and we're going to... What do you think those West Ham fans are going to do? You think they're going to be waiting? They're going to be waiting there ready to kick ass as well.
Was it the EDL that said that they were coming?
I can't remember who it was, but it seemed like the videos that I saw, it was very provocative. Was it UKIP? Yeah, it was someone anyway was shouting some stuff like, oh yeah, we're coming down there to Whitechapel. Everyone get down there. And the Muslim Brothers said, this is our area, and they were shouting our streets. Like I didn't. If you hear any chants and you see any videos, please do send it to me, and I will definitely I'm open. I'm on no one's side, But for what I saw, if you after what those poor people went through with their hiding with their kids, with their windows getting kicked in and their cars, if you say you're coming down to an area to take over and do this, blah blah blah, you better be willing to defend that.
Who were they shouting for then to be deported? Because there was some chance for deportation. I'm sure it was for the Jews.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I didn't hear. If you get it, the best thing to do if you get it, say allegedly as well. Say allegedly.
Allegedly, that there was chance for the Jews to be removed, because I've seen some news reports where they said it's not just the Jewish people that need to be afraid. But then is that a dog whistle? And like I say, if somebody can prove me wrong, I'm quite happy for them to do that, because I just want everyone to get along.
Yeah, but ultimately, where this country's going, if anyone thinks Nigel Farage is going to be a good prime minister, can you imagine the sort of dick riding he's going to do with Donald Trump? Can you just imagine? Well, Donald Trump should be out of power by then, to be fair, but he will be a proper kiss ass. This guy ain't fit to be prime minister. There's no way. I think if what Keir Starmer has to do, he has to address the common sense things that that anyone should be able to say and do. That just doesn't make no sense. Just sort these hotel things out. Come up with a situation. Find a way around these boats, but maybe some foreign policy where we sort problems out, where we sort some of the problems out what we've caused in other countries where these people don't have homes to go to, because ultimately that's the way. Because if we don't do that, China and Russia are working very hard with African and Asian countries at the minute, and once they get a grip on the resources and the gold, and they say fuck the dollar, we're going to be in big trouble as well, because we rely on that damn dollar. That dollar's basically ours, basically. So we need to start doing some proper trading with countries.
I think we're both in agreement with this. We need to start making other countries safe for people to stay in, not blowing them up and taking the resources. We've got to make sure that other countries are okay for these people to stay in. That way, they don't come over here. Now, if you can't make sense of that, you need to go back to school. Seriously, you really need an education, because there are people out there, we just don't want them. Well, stop bombing the country then.
That's it. And people will say, there'll be people of all types of all backgrounds that will say, we didn't have anything to do with that. We didn't even want it. Most people didn't want to go to war and didn't want this Middle East war that we got sucked into. We did not want to waste English lives, English money, English taxpayer money. We did not want to waste our money doing it. But the government, the people that are in charge, they're the ones that set the tone, and we just they play the music, and unfortunately we dance, and that's it. Unfortunately,
it is that, and now, again, I agree totally, because I don't want anybody going to war. I don't want anybody dying in my name. I certainly don't. Not for gold and things. It doesn't matter. Life. There isn't a price you can put on life. I don't think there's a price you can put on life. I think in a great world, you and I have talked about this, we take the pharmaceuticals off the pharmaceutical companies and we make them ourselves. We live self-sufficient. We stop invading countries. We start looking after our own.
We got to start doing the right things, and if we don't do them right things, then people are just gonna exploit us. We are these politicians. Who trusts them, man? You could give them money, and they'll literally suck your balls for you if you give them enough money. These politicians they're just literal puppets. That's why I say we need one leader that's in charge, that's got the best interest of this country first, and just get rid of all that. Like, you know, you see some of these MPs in Parliament when they're talking, and they're sort of like laughing, and they're sort of like, it's like watching the Geek Squad. Like, that's literally what it is. You got a bunch of geeks over there and a bunch of geeks over there, and they just literally heckle each other, and it's literally so embarrassing. You just want to literally just go there and just backhand some of these politicians sometimes. Like, literally just do right by the people. And then I think the people, what we have a duty to do is start some critical thinking. Let's stop following pages that just show you black and brown people committing crimes. Like, that is stupid. And you know what? Because, you know, I think there's hostility because, like, you know, from the Asian community, I would say, they move into areas, people move out. In their minds, you know, these people don't want to live with them. Like, you know, they don't want to live them. They don't want to be around them. So in their mind, they just say, fine, we're just going to do our thing. We're going to build our mosque. We're going to, you know, do our thing, enjoy life, do our prayers. And, you know, it's going to get populated with people that want to stay within that demographic. And that's going to be Asian people, like, you know, but.
Do you think that there are, right? And this is a question. This isn't me putting my opinion. Do you think that there are bad Asians though? There are bad Muslims?
There's bad everyone. I don't think there's bad human beings. Full stop.
They are bad human beings. They are just as race baiting as the far right. You know, where there's one or two that will come out and say, we're here to take your women and we're here to do this, and they know that they'll be poking the far right and whatever.
I think what pokes them worse is when white women say that they don't want to date white men. I think that's the biggest poke you can do. Like, you know, and that causes a lot of problems. Like, you know, you think it sounds stupid, like, you know, why are you moaning about who someone chooses to date or go out with, sort of thing. But, you know, you're seeing it now. People are phoning radio stations to speak to politicians to complain about seeing too many people of color on TV. Like, you know, how sad of it. You know, I bet you any money this guy's favorite channel is probably MTV based or something like MTV or something like that, or, you know, is his best music. You know, there's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people that have got like all these weird sort of views, but they love all types. So they love all the sort of like R&B. They love all the rap. They love all that sort of part of they love that They love the culture, but they don't love. And I don't want to say like they love the sort of urban sort of rap, hip hop, R&B sort of culture, but they even reggae culture, but they don't like the people. Like, you know, there's a lot of that, unfortunately.
In the 80s, right, we know that there was a big sort of race war, right? But the skinheads were all listening to ska music, which came basically from Jamaica.
You would see them. It would be quite funny because you see it. You want to chicks them crazy ballads, like, you know, you'd see them jamming to it.
Thank it, and you're like, make your mind.
Yeah, I think I honestly believe, like, you know, that, like, you know, there are people with racist views for sure, like, in this country. There are people with extreme racist views and stuff on all shapes, all sizes, all colors. But I generally think that it's not as deep as it's made out of. Like, you know, it sounds a lot worse. Like, people from every single culture, when they go home, they probably say one or two things that they probably wouldn't say outside. And sometimes, you know, people say things for a laugh. Like, you know, sometimes people just do that. At home, people do it. All colors, all creeds. Like, you know, when I was growing up, London, you know, with white friends, Asian friends, we would all be joking around and we'd all be roasting everyone. Everyone would be getting roasted. Everyone would be getting laughed at. It was just banter. And I think there's a lot of that out there. A lot of men just get drunk and want to sort of like talk some crap, basically. You know, there's a lot of that.
There's that in my house. My house is exactly the same. I swear to you, you know, like Charlie will come in and go, I fancy a chinky. I'll go, all right, and four eyes. Do you know what I mean? And it's just the way that it is. It's just funny banter. But there are some people, like you say, the Karens out there that will go, you can't say that.
Yeah. Well, in your house, you can say whatever you want. To be fair, in your house, you can say whatever you want. It's when it comes to online and when you start promoting it, I feel like that's where you're going to be attacked with things, like, you know. But I think there's a place for everything. Like, you know, like if you go to a comedy, if you go to some sort of comedy stand-up show or something, you know, expect to hear some comedy. Like, you know, people's homes, expect to hear some comedy, but don't be naive and start crying like big babies because you can't say something online that's like, you know, it's old-fashioned, it's outdated. Like, you know, time and place. If it's stand-up, you know, I still like watching. I can't remember who that guy is, the old white guy that used to do like loads of sort of really sort of distasteful sort of jokes and stuff. But it's quite funny.
Bernard Manning.
Is he quite a big guy as well?
Bernard
Yeah,
Manning.
that's probably him. Yeah, he made some funny jokes. You know, the biggest critics of black people is black stand-up comedians. Like we all have a laugh, and even Asians are getting on it now, and they're having a laugh in America and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, ultimately, we just all need to try get that hate out of our heart and try and start, like, you know, and if we don't get that hate out of our heart, we will be divided forever. Like, you know, if we don't get that serious hate out of our heart, we will be divided, and the government love it. Even your favorite reform, you think Nigel Farage is your man. No, he's not. Like, you know, he's a man for the money. Like, you know, he's one of the elites. Like, you know, you give that man money, he'll do what you want. You give him enough money, he'll lick your balls. Like, I'm telling you. And it goes for most of these politicians as well.
Ask how many of these politicians have ever had to, like, go and eat 9p noodles. Ask how many of these politicians have ever had to decide between a new car because your car's falling to pieces or, you know, putting heat in the house. Not one of them have had real problems. Not one of them know what it's like.
And if sorry, Key, if Nigel Farage gets in and he does anything to our healthcare system, God bless him. Like, you know, I say God bless him, because that's something. Like, can you imagine not having people having people that are in care homes and people that can't afford health? Like, you know, people that are, like, what are you gonna do if you can't afford? Like, you're gonna have a Z cover. So basically, the super rich will get A cover, then it will just gradually go A, B, C, and then you people that don't have enough money will have Z healthcare. Like, if you just look at the state of America and you see what's happening out there, like, you know, it's unbearable, man. It's unbearable. Like, you know, don't take people's healthcare away from them. Like, and that's the one thing we've got that makes us.
I'll be dead because my brother, when not medicated, will kill me because he's got schizophrenia. That's how dangerous this is. There are people out there that need those medications to live, and we take those away from them. And like you say, the only difference between here and America is we're not armed.
Yep, we're not armed, and you've got the cover. You're getting the help. Like, you know, in America, good God, like, you know, I keep referring to this documentary that I watched when I saw them in the community, and these people need serious help, man. They got no health care. The gangs are exploiting everyone. Like, you know, young girls as young as 13 are having to sell their bodies. Like, you know, this is in America. It's honestly, they need a lot of help. Like, for me, I'm with Donald Trump when he talks about sending the army in so they can sort of, like, you know, just deal with these people, like, and deal with the criminal element, and, you know, just try. I don't know what's needed. Some sort of military boot camp to try help these people, but somebody in all the areas where No, I don't think he cares. I think he's written them off. Like, I've heard him speak as well about them, and he said, you know, these people are serial criminals. Like, you know, he's just demon labeling them all criminals, and, you know, the help ain't there. Like, you know, they're all criminals. That's it.
No, I don't think he means it in a racist way. I just think he means it that
I think he's just given up. No, they've just given up on him. They've given up on him.
Yeah, it's a lost cause, and I think you have to look at yourselves. If you think that he's demonising you because of the colour of your skin, I think you need to look at yourselves. I think you need to take a real good look in the mirror and think to yourself, am I contributing to society? No. Doing what I'm doing? Am I contributing? Well, yeah, I'm getting to the kids and things like that.
No, but Key, can you this is a vicious cycle of just get this, guys. Like, you know, there are women selling themselves as young as 13. These women are ending up having children. These children are being brought up in that system. What do you think is going to happen to them? What do you think happens around especially young girls? If these girls have young girls, what do you think is going to happen? Like, you know, honestly, there needs to be something done. But honestly, yeah, we'll be going on forever with this one. But it's very painful when I watch it.
Crack addicts. You know, these babies are born crack addicts, and then they're poorly. They need constant care. The mums and dads aren't going to bother. They'll just be put into the care system. This is what we've got. This is what needs to be eradicated. Whether it's you get rid of drugs, but then people are like, well, you know, that's my weekend on the slopes. You can't say that, can you? You can't be. We're either in or out on this.
Yeah, I think ultimately though, guys, people Stop letting people play music and you dance into it. Like, I don't care who it is. Don't suck bum anyone, man. Do your own critical thinking, and you know, if people start talking, you know, we can find common ground and common, like, you know, I think ultimately everyone can agree we all want to live in a safe place where it's law, there's law, it's being enforced, you know, children aren't being troubled. Like, we all want to live in a lovely place, a lovely area. I think ultimately anyone that doesn't is our enemy. So that's it. Like, you know, just has some basic fundamentals. Like, we don't want to worry about people getting robbed, people getting shot, people getting stabbed, people getting raped. We don't want to worry about that. We want, like, you know, these are the kind of grounds that we should be going on, like coming down hard on criminals, like crushing criminals in that sense, like, let's just say. But, you know, don't let people just, like, you know, if people are able to put you left and put you right, it's just easy and nothing gets sorted, like, you know, and the government ultimately are laughing at us like they do in the parliament. Ha ha ha, here, 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 here. Like, you know, it's honestly like a bunch of toffs acting like freaking fairies. Like, you know, just honestly, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. When you watch like Question Time and things like that in the House, you just think to yourself, you are so pathetic and you are running this country. How pathetic. Yeah. How pathetic. But if we don't stand up for ourselves and we don't start thinking for ourselves, that's what you're going to allow. And if you're not careful, we're going to be taken over by someone like America. And then we're going to have
buy whoever wants to buy, whoever's willing to, whoever's spending the money. Like, you know, whoever's spending the money, they can get what they want. Like, you know. But Kitty, fabulous show today. We've had quite a few headlines. Let's, guys, make sure you do try and tune in with our 2:00 shows Monday to Friday, guys. We do want people. We do want input. We do want people calling in. And even if you do want to call in complaining that there's too many brown faces on my show, then it's no problem, guys. I still love to hear from you. Okay, guys. So peace and love to you, Kitty. Anything you want to say before we roll?
No, just start thinking for yourself, guys.
Critical thinking, guys.